Welcome everybody. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 1 p.m. Eastern of the Heritage Advisory Committee on May 5th. Please note the meeting is video and audio recorded and all electronic meetings are uploaded to the municipality's YouTube page. By registering to participate in the meeting by electronic means, you are consenting to have your likeness and comments recorded and posted on YouTube. I will now read the township's land acknowledgement statement. The lands we know today as the Township of Puslinch have been home to Indigenous people since time immemorial. We acknowledge that we are in the traditional territory of the Hattawandurunk, as well as the treaty lands and traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee. With increasing encroachment by non-Indigenous settlers in the Township of Puslinch, the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee could not continue their traditional lifestyle and settled in their villages along the Credit River and in the Grand River Valley. These Indigenous nations uphold their treaty rights within our jurisdiction. Today, the Township of Puslinch remains home to Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. We are grateful to have the opportunity to share and respect Mother Earth and are committed to building constructive and cooperative relationships with Indigenous nations. We'll now move on to the roll call. So we'll start with committee members and then we'll transition to staff. So we'll go from my left to my right. Christine Ryan, absent. Lily.
Here.
Present. Andy.
Here.
Cheryl.
Here.
And staff again, left to right, Justine.
Present.
And Laura. And Courtney.
Present.
And last but not least, Sarah.
Present.
All right, thank you. We'll now move to item number 3, a moment of reflection. Please take a moment. Okay, thank you. Now, item number 4, confirmation of the agenda. Are there any amendments anybody would like to make to the agenda that had been previously circulated and posted? Anything from you at all? Okay, if none,
That the Heritage Advisory Committee hereby approves the May 5th agenda as circulated.
can we have a mover? Cheryl, seconder Andy, all in support? Carried. All right, next one is item number 5, disclosure of conflict of interest. Are there any disclosures of conflict of interest that anybody has based on today's agenda? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. I do not believe we have any delegations today, Laura. So now we'll move to item number 9 in the agenda. Is that for closed? Okay. So do we have any online attendees?
We do not have any online.
Okay.
Just check it out.
And any members of the gallery?
Yeah, once we're into closed, any members of the gallery will have to leave, and then once we're back in open, they can come back in.
Okay. How long do we anticipate it being?
How long do you want to talk for? I don't think too long. Hopefully not long.
Like 5 to 10 minutes?
Probably be longer than
Okay, maybe 15.
that.
So we'll go into close for about 15 minutes. If you'd like, we can just come and get you if you want to come back in.
Mhm.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
We try to to set a realistic expectation of your time. Sorry. Procedure.
Okay, yes, we have a resolution to move into close. Sorry, this is also new to me. So that the Heritage Advisory Committee shall go into closed under section 239 of the Municipal Act for the purpose of a confidential report regarding litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local boards, potential matters heard by the Ontario Land Tribunal. And then we'll need a super and a seconder for that.
Can we have somebody make a motion to go into close? Lily, Andy, all in favor? Carried. So now we'll go into close.
So that council, the resolution is that council moves into open session at 2:45 PM.
We have a mover,
I'll move
seconder, Christine, seconder, Andy. Support. Carried. Great, Laura.
And then there's another resolution that the Heritage Advisory Committee receives the confidential report regarding litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local boards, potential matters heard by the Ontario Land Tribunal, and that staff proceed as directed.
We have a mover and a
I'll move
seconder. One and two. So fast on the gun here. Okay. All in support? Carried.
Okay. So the next, now we'll move into item 8.4. And that's through you, Mr. Chair, that's the Heritage Objection Report. And I can read the resolution for you. It is that report HER-2025-008 entitled Heritage Designation Objections be received, and that the committee withdraw the recommendation for designation of 4048 Side Road 20 South, and that the committee defer the recommendation for designation of 4453 Side Road 20 North, and that the committee withdraw the recommendation for designation of 6684 Concession 1, and that the committee withdraw the recommendation for designation of 6830 Gore Road, and that the committee defer the recommendation for designation of 7243 Concession 1.
Thanks, Laura. We have a mover and a seconder.
I'll move it again.
Okay, Christine, seconder, Cheryl. All in favor? Carried. Great, thank you.
Yes, honor.
Welcome, Mary. We'll turn it over to you to provide an update of HER 2025-005, the finance and budget.
Perfect. Thank you so
Lori.
much. Good afternoon, committee. So I am just going to get to that page in the agenda. Okay, so this is just an annual report that's provided to each of our advisory committees of council. And so this is specific to the Heritage Committee. I can go over the report quickly, and then we can discuss any questions from the committee. So the process related to the budget commences in June of each year. And throughout the year, as we obtain council's direction on various matters for the municipality. The deadline for 2026 budget requests are also noted in the report, but just as a first step, the majority of budget requests for advisory committees are through the goals and objectives process. As you may know, a lot of the goals and objectives do not have financial implications, and so wouldn't have any 2026 budget implications. However, there are some goals that do have financial implications, and so it's really important to meet those deadlines as the budget process does commence in June for the township. So I've provided in this report just some of the items that were approved in 2025 that relate to this specific committee. So council did approve the Killian School Bell Cairn. And so that's outlined in the report to be funded by cash in lieu of parkland and fundraising efforts. As well, council has continued their initiative for the Heritage Financial Incentive Program to be implemented in 2026 and 2027. So as part of both the 2024 and 2025 budget cycle, they did contribute $10,600 for this program for once it's implemented. So any new 2026 budget requests must include a committee memo, as well as an advisory committee goals and objectives proposal form. That's been included as attachments to this report, but again, the process hasn't changed significantly from previous years, with the exception of having 2 active goals and objectives unless authorized by council for time-sensitive initiatives. So that's all outlined in the report. So as of the time of writing the report, we didn't have any 2026 budget requests. But I do understand that the committee will be meeting in September to discuss any potential budget requests at that meeting. So at the September 8th committee meeting for the committee's approval. And again, for that meeting, Laura would be able to provide further information, but we do require a completed committee memo and a completed advisory committee goals and objectives form to be submitted in order to discuss as a committee to determine if it is something that you want to initiate as part of the 2026 budget process. So once the committee has approved a certain goal and objective that has budget implications, the next step is that the department head, so Justine in the case of the Heritage Advisory Committee, would be preparing a base budget increase request or a capital budget sheet, depending if it's an operating item or a capital item. That needs to go to council for approval through the budget process. So I've summarized the budget development and control policy. No major changes from previous years, so I won't go into this in too much detail. But there is some information in there regarding the process associated with capital budget and the operating budget. And again, no changes from previous years. I've also attached as a schedule to this report, the council committees and other appointments, compensation benefits and expense policy. There have been some minor amendments to that policy, and so the most up-to-date policy is included in this report for you. We've also recently had a donation policy that was adopted by council in February of 2025, which we did present to the committee. The committee had great insights that we incorporated in the final approved policy. And so there's some information in the report pertaining to this policy and the township's current initiatives where we're accepting donations include the Puslinch Community Center digital sign replacement and the construction of the Killian School Bell structure. And so that's all outlined in here, as well as the 175th anniversary at the 2025 Puslinch Community Showcase on October 4th. 2025. And there's a website link there as well for you in case you want to learn more about this upcoming event that Justine's team are currently in the process of preparing. The donation policy is also on our website in case you want to look at the policy in more detail. I've also outlined our community improvement plan. There are some heritage items associated with the plan, and I've kind of outlined that here in the report as well. Again, no significant changes from previous years, but this has been outlined in this report for the Heritage Committee in the past as well. Again, any new 2026 budget requests must be approved by the committee as a whole prior to being provided to council for consideration as part of the 2026 budget process. A committee memo is required and an advisory committee goals and objectives proposal form. Laura and Justine's team have done a great job with this in the past. So if you have any specific questions regarding the process associated with this, Justine and Laura are here as well to assist. And that's the end of my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any of the committee's questions.
Great, thanks, Mary. Lots in that report, a lot of good context. So we'll open it to any committee members that have any questions or points of clarity that they'd like Mary to address.
I have a
Yeah,
sort
go
of a
ahead.
question. Lily and I once sent in a memo with regards to plaques for the houses. I don't have that with me right now, and I'm not sure, but if that would have some impact and need to be something that we consider as in the budget for 2026.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I believe you're talking like the plaquing policy. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the plaques that we would put on the.
Okay, yeah.
designated
Through you, Mr. Chair, that is included in our budget for this year, and then will be included in ongoing budgets going forward. So you don't have to do an updated budget sheet for that. It will be included, yeah.
Good question. Anything else for Mary? Yeah, I think the one clarifying point I was looking for, and I think you noted it, but just for everybody's, what we're looking for is requests for new funding. So there are a number of, I'll call them budget lines that are applicable to this, this committee, being that approximately $10,000 heritage grant, that it's been a couple of years in place, that we're working through kind of issuing those at some point in the future as well. Some training and education endeavors that this committee does, as well as the plaquing program. So I think there are things that take place. The other one I would note, the committee remuneration. I think council had a discussion a number of months ago where we worked through some COLA changes. So that'll kind of come through at the end of 25, I believe. But just FYI, and Mary included that. So I think that's good. When's our next committee meeting?
Through you, Mr. Chair, not until September.
So we'll just make a point on the agenda item at that point. And lots of prep work will go into that. If we do have a request for additional budget, as Mary noted, make sure that gets lined up in plenty of time prior to that September meeting. Here we go. Thank you, Mary.
Much.
Take care.
So the resolution for that is that report HER-2025-005 entitled Finance and Budget Training be received for information.
We have a mover, Andy, seconder, Cheryl, right, all in support, Carrie. Okay. Next one is item number 7, our consent agenda. Fire away.
Yeah, so through Mr. Chair, there's 2 items on the consent agenda. Of course, the meeting minutes from March, and as well as the 2024 Council Committee year in review. This is something that the committee will see on an annual basis now. Staff will kind of be creating a committee and council year in review in March of each year, and that was direction that actually came out of this committee back in January, I want to say. Just that we show off what our committees and council are doing on an annual basis. So that's something that you'll see going forward.
Yeah, maybe just 2 points from my perspective. So thank you for circulating those. I do the 2024 year in review. 2 things from this committee. Great picture in front of the PCC with the committee for the
You all
plaque.
made it.
Well done.
I felt very important.
And
Wait, Andy's not in there. Oh,
sorry.
much to
Um,
the wood.
And the other was just like a really positive year for this committee. You know, significant number of properties that have gone through the designation process. Not always an easy journey to go on, but a lot of really good work. And I appreciate staff calling those out and making that public. So thank you to Laura and team. The other thing that I wanted to make note of is just at an earlier meeting today, the community guide for 2025, and there's lots of reference to heritage in there. So if anybody would like a copy of them, just ask Laura, and she'll get you looked after. But a couple things from my standpoint: the doors of Whistling posters in there, a lot of heritage properties, pictures within there, and they're not specifically called out, but a lot of properties that have been designated by this committee over the past couple of years are included in there. And a call out to the Heritage Society as well, in the community notes. So I think it's important that some of these heritage and historical attributes are certainly embedded in the township's work. So just a well done on that one. I think it's a really good document.
So the
Okay.
resolution is that the consent agenda items listed for the May 5th Heritage Advisory Committee meeting be received for information.
We have a mover, a seconder, Lily, seconder, Andy, all in support, carried. 8.2, report HER 2025-004, 2022 through 2026 goal and objective update. So over to you, Laura.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair, this report you see on each committee meeting outlining the goals and objectives for the committee. You can see now that there are those two active goals and objectives, the one related to the designation and one related to the clean school bell unveiling. As council approved that goal and objective at their March 26th meeting.
Any questions for Laura on those goals and objectives? I think the only other thing I would note is we do have some future goals and objectives, and I'm glad that they're captured there. So as we work through our current ones, we have some guideposts for the future. I'm glad to see that. All right, we have ready?
Yeah, so that it's that report HER just 2025-006 entitled 2022 to 2026 goals and objectives update be received for information.
Dean, seconder, Cheryl, all in support. Carried. Okay. Next item is 8.3 report HER 2025-005 school bell update.
Through you, Mr. Chair, this report is to provide the committee with an information update on the construction and design of the cairn. Council did approve the design that the Historical Society recommended, and a contractor has been selected, and we are moving forward with the design and construction of that specific cairn. We'll be working on the cairn over the summer at the PCC, and it'll be ready to go for our showcase come October 4th.
Wonderful. My only request would be, because we don't have a meeting until September, I would appreciate just some visual photos over the course of the summer. If you could shoot them out
Yeah.
to the committee, I think that would be wonderful as
Absolutely.
well. We've got an active social media account in the township. I think it would be great if we provided some status updates through the social media channel. This is an exciting thing. Let's showcase it.
Through Mr. Chair, that's probably a good idea since it will be at the front of the PCC. People will notice something's happening as you drive by, so we probably should let them know what they're doing.
In some context to it, that this is
Mhm.
a very unique school bell, part of the township's history.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure.
I want to add to that I have submitted an article to the Pioneer, which very soon, I think. Talking about our intentions for the bell and car. And mentioning the showcase.
Okay, that's great. Any other questions on the bell? I'm glad that in the report that there was the stones used from the township. God, we got enough of them around here. Hopefully they could use them. So well done. Thanks for staff for shepherding this. This has been an ongoing piece for the better part of a year now. So
So when you mention the stones,
Mhm.
were the committee members supposed to be sourcing them out, or what was the township?
I think that on my
Okay.
I just give a shout out to Cheryl for putting together her lovely drawing with it. She did a big follow up this fall on the bell.
My husband and I had a laugh when I was looking at the minutes. I'm like,
yeah, that's good.
She put a lot of
I don't
effort
draw.
into it. Not just the drawing, I mean, the background and measuring everything.
Yeah. and
That's good. To scale. Good job. Okay, Laura.
Yeah, it's that report HER 2025-07 entitled Clean School Bell Update be received for information.
Can we have a mover and a seconder? Andy and Christine. All in support? Carried. Okay. I don't believe we have any correspondence. Any announcements to make? Anybody have any heritage?
Last thing,
The one announcement I guess I would make is that we are holding our Heritage Open House next Wednesday. It's May 14th from 7 to 9 p.m. It'll be here at the municipal office in council chambers. So any property owners that have any questions on designation, want to follow up with staff, that would be a great opportunity. We'll be here, we'll be giving a presentation on designation, and then there's also a chance to talk to staff afterwards. So that's next Wednesday here at the township office,
What was the time again?
7 to 9. The presentation will start at 7 and then we'll chat with property owners afterwards.
Good. Anybody else have any announcements from the community? Okay. Any notice of motion that anybody would like to make? Go
I
ahead.
would like a motion to have to request of the council to look at sending a letter to the Fords Group for clarification on insurance for homeowners of designated properties.
Anybody have any reaction to Lily's observation?
I think it's an important point. I don't know where it belongs in the system. But I suspect it's gonna be at the provincial level, and it's certainly not at our level. Maybe somebody's already dealing with it, maybe who knows, but I think an inquiry is a good idea.
I just think we need a letter like we see in the council minutes from one community and they all kind of step on board.
That's what I was envisioning. In terms of process.
Like I can make a draft resolution. And then that resolution will send to council and then,
They make the decision.
yeah.
That's fair. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think you got it.
And then the resolution could be that the committee requests council. That the Heritage Advisory Committee requests council that staff draft a letter to be sent to the provincial government regarding. Clarification on insurance implications for homeowners of designated properties.
Options for homeowners.
It's concern we're raising though, right? We
Yes.
wanna raise that as a concern. And then what is it we want them to do?
We don't get to do anything. Council gets to.
No, but I mean, what are the action we're hoping for?
I'd like to see more options, because I think they're allowing insurance companies not to insure those, so homeowners that now have designated properties will no longer have insurance with their current provider. So I think they're being kind of left hanging, trying to find insurance, they don't know who will insure them, and then the price goes up because now you've got a smaller amount of insurers. It's not fair.
Roll it up is to examine challenges around procuring
Yeah.
reasonable insurance rates for designated heritage properties. That can go to council and we can wordsmith it. I think I fully understand, and that'll go in the a pre-read for anybody. We can make sure that the committee's privy to it.
Okay, so that the Heritage Advisory Committee request council that staff draft a letter to be sent to the provincial government regarding examining the challenges for procuring reasonable insurance rates for designated parties.
I think that's good. I think that catches the essence of what we're looking for.
Mhm.
I would also just add, in addition to the province, I would send it to rural. 'Cause we're in the same scenario where any rural municipality, rural Ontario Municipal Association.
So that's what I was thinking.
I can add that the letter be sent to the provincial government and regarding examining the challenges for procuring reasonable insurance rates for designated properties. And then we just need to move on a seconder on that, obviously.
Lily, seconder, Cheryl, great, all in support. Good addition. Any other notice of motion? We're on a roll today, okay. Any new business that anybody wants to flag? Hearing none. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
That the Heritage Advisory Committee hereby adjourns at 3:08 PM.
All right, mover, I saw a hand over here. Andy. I'm like, you winked at me. I'm gonna go for it. And seconder, Cheryl. All right, all support. All right, thanks everybody.